We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, feel the energy, see what's up, and what is possible for the week to come. I've started over once already because I wasn't recording the video. I was recording the sound, but not the video. Mercury retrograde. This episode's also a day late. My life is in shambles. It's not. Everything's going to be fine. But we're just doing our best. I'm excited to be here with you today. It is always a joy to come to this space in the middle of a hectic day, life, week, month. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that it's been a hectic few weeks for me, but I'm glad we're here. I'm also super excited. I'm using the new Every Little Thing You Do is Magic deck from Callie Little and Moorea Seal. It came out today. It's delightful. It's beautiful. If you want a really awesome, great new deck, I can't recommend this enough. The guidebook that comes with it is beautifully simple yet in depth and has correspondences with each card. This is not an ad. I'm just excited about it. And they also made a workbook companion to the deck, which I don't have that yet. It should actually be arriving any moment now, and I am simply thrilled to get into that. But anyway, I'm so excited to be using this deck today. And before we begin, I also had a couple of quick notes. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted this today. And if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you already know this. I will be increasing my rates for one-on-one readings on September 1st. If you want to read why, or if you need me to justify it to you, you can read about it in my most recent Substack. But the good news is my 4-card emailed readings will be staying the same. They're sliding scale, $30 to $40. That isn't changing. I'm also adding a couple of new offerings. So I'll also be doing a 7-card Oracle and Tarot emailed reading. That will be $55. My 30-minute readings are going up to $88. I'm adding a 45-minute reading for $111, and then my 60-minute readings, which are for returning clients only, are going to be $155. So you have until midnight on August 31st to book at my current rates, which are 30-minute readings at $60 and 60-minute readings if you're a returning client at $125. So get that rate while you can. Otherwise, things are changing. And then also Tarotcraft coming up on September 1st, my 4-week tarot course. Spots are starting to fill up, and there's 3 different payment tiers. So there are 5 spots available at the $200 base tier. Those are now, half of 5. Those are almost gone. So if you need to sign up at that lower tier, don't wait too much longer. If you need a payment plan, please send me an email, chelb@phasecraftmagic.com. We can set that up for you. But that's it. Anyway, let's get into the actual reading, shall we? Let's take a moment, as we always do, to breathe and center and ground together. If you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes and taking a couple of breaths. You can also just let your gaze kind of settle down at your cheeks, or land somewhere out in space. Let's take a deep breath together. Yeah, that sounds so good. Take a big, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out your mouth with an HA sound. Yeah, let's do that again. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, HA. One of my cats just walked by screaming, so I hope that if you did hear that, it brought you a little bit of a smile. If you didn't, then forget I said anything. I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, and as I name them, I invite you to imagine a visual, tangible force of their essence erecting a circle around you. You might see a circle of stones rise up from the ground, or maybe flowers, maybe trees, maybe a ring of salt or a ring of fire. You might carve a moat of flowing blue water around you, or simply put up a force field of air to hold out all unwanted and negative energy. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, of the deepest roots and the tallest trees, of the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, the life-giving sun and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, divinity, protection, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. And you might have heard my cat continuing to yell throughout that whole thing, but I was in it, and I just figured, hey, instead of stopping and going again, let's just muscle through. That's Kirby. He's my oldest. He has a fish toy that he drags around and yells about and delivers to us as a gift from time to time. It's very sweet, and we love it for him. He's just very, very loud about it. Okay, let's see what the deal is for this week, the week of August 5th. Mercury retrograde. We're starting with the Six of Swords. Departure. Leaving behind of old ways of difficult situations. Moving forward simply with what's available. A huge group just came out together. I'm going to put them back, but I'm going to take this single card out. Justice reversed. When we make choices about what needs to change, where we need to go, who, what we need to leave behind, keep in mind that we are doing it from a place of knowing what is right for us, knowing what we need, knowing when we need to be fair to ourselves. I just talked about this in a reading with someone earlier today, too. That idea of fairness. Fairness towards the self. We often make choices that we think we should make because of societal expectations. Kirby's yelling about it. You can hear that. Because of societal expectations. Because of... Wow, everything's coming out reversed today. And you all know I don't like read reversals as opposite. I read them as like energetic focus. But there's like a lot of cards coming out reversed today. Sorry, now I'm distracted. What was I talking about? Justice and fairness. Making choices based on what others or, you know, whatever expectations that we put on ourselves for whatever reason that don't actually align with who we are or what we want. The swords are speaking today, y'all. And the star, so air. Justice is also air. There's a lot of air coming out. Okay. So, I mean, I'm going to keep shuffling, but I'll come back to the Six of Swords and Justice so I can actually show you the cards in a little bit. I know I usually don't start talking until we're done shuffling, but I got excited. Is that all for right now? One. Did we have the Hermit last week? Again, I never know because I just kind of post them and then kind of forget about it. Okay, so here's our Six of Swords. And here is our Justice reversed. Biblically accurate angel. We love it. I love it. Yeah, so really focusing on this idea of making major changes in order to bring balance, in order to bring that sense of like justice and fairness. There's also, I'm thinking a lot about like the news today in the US with our electoral politics and how our ideas of what is right and wrong are being challenged by what we feel is our duty and what we are told is our duty, your civic duty, voting. I'm not going to get into that, but this invitation to grapple with how your actions align with your words and how the actions of the people that you support align with your values. And deciding whether or not it's a deal breaker, whether or not you are willing to leave behind either the comfort of yourself at the expense of others, or whether or not you're willing to leave behind or put on pause or walk away from a hard and fast line that you have drawn for something that you perceive as being more fair and just overall. Wow. Sorry, again, if you come to these readings, this is gonna happen. The personal is political. Everything we do involves everyone else in our lives. Individualism isn't real. It's a capitalist ploy to keep us from noticing our collective power. Anyway, let's move on. Actually, I think the Ace of Cups came out next. Ace of Cups. I love Ace of Cups and Seven of Pentacles. We're building things. We're building things connected to our heart. I have talked about there's no revolution without heart before. I think it was like a Page of Cups came up. And Seven of Pentacles, building from what has happened, from what you have done, building off of what exists to create space for that like new, emotionally aligned energy. Building off of what you know, building off of what you have, building off of what you've already made to keep in alignment with your sense of self, your intuition, your feelings, like feeling good about what you're doing. Being able to like be proud of what you're making because it aligns fully with who you know yourself to be and the things that you care about, and because you're doing it from love. Like every action that we take towards revolution needs to be from a place of love, not hate. It's not about what the opponent or the enemy or the other people will do that will hurt us. It's about what we can do to make something better. It's about how we can improve ourselves and our communities. It's not about how other people will hurt us. I'm struggling to speak today. Kirby's desperately trying to get in this room. Should we take a pause and let Kirby in? If I open that door and he doesn't come inside, things are going to get wild. They're not. I couldn't do anything to him. You coming in? I'm sorry to those of you that are listening because you don't get to see Kirby right now. This is my son. He's huge. You're here. Are you happy? No, of course he's not speaking. I wish he would say something. Do you want down? Okay. A nice visit from Kirby. And now if he tries to get out, then that will be something else. So, we talked about building from what aligns, building from what we have, making choices that foster love, that are from a place of love. And we also have the star. Hope. which is very, very much a general feeling right now in the US with, again, today's news. But also reminding ourselves, again, this is hope, that it is about us, not them. The star is about you. The star is about your ability to shine. Remember that the power comes from you, not from someone else. Again, you, by making choices from love and happiness, have the ability to make change, better change for yourself and for everyone involved. From there, we have the Elder of Swords. This is the King of Swords. The Elder of Swords, reversed. And the Four of Swords. Take your time. Take time when you need to step away. Not, again, I mean, like I know we've talked about the Four of Swords before. Not to step away to ignore what is happening, but to evaluate what needs to change to make it better. And the King of Swords, the Elder of Swords reversed, remembering you to, as you step away, to tap into your inner knowledge, your decision-making skills, your ability to stand strong in your conviction while still making space for other people to be heard. Taking a step back and resting your mind to find that balance from like the Justice card, that fairness, remembering to rest when you need to, so that you can fully show up with your ideas, with your leadership, with your skills, with your voice. Because if you do not take time to rest, that is when this King of Swords like ends up reversed and like needs that boost and needs that support. So, even when the work we do is fulfilling, even when everything we're doing is like positive and happy and joyous and like whatever, it can still be tiring. You can have fun and then be exhausted. Like when you go out partying and the next day you're hungover and exhausted and like can barely get out of bed. It's because you had a great time. It's because you enjoyed yourself and you were around those you love. But you still need to rest. Even when the work is good, you still need to rest. Even when you're enjoying what you're doing, you can still get burnt out if you don't take the time to step back. Let others lead sometimes so that you can come back stronger. This is interesting. We have the Two of Cups reversed and then the Three of Cups. How are your connections elevating your ability to live in service of your values? And how are they not? Who is pressuring you, or I don't know, who is hindering your ability to see your path clearly, to see yourself clearly, and who is elevating your ability to do so? We also had the Hermit come out with these. And with the Hermit, I always talk about that internal journey of authenticity. So this moment of like who is helping, who is hindering, there's an evaluation that needs to be done of, I mean, maybe it's cleansing your following list. Maybe it's purging your friends, which sounds a little aggressive. But maybe it's having real conversations with people about how they make you feel. Maybe it's being honest with yourself about people in your life who are maybe comfortable because they've been there for a long time. But when you really take a good look at it, when you really spend the time to go inside and connect with your values and, again, your authenticity, when you take the time away from them, you see that, oh, I actually feel exhausted after being with them, and not in a fun way. I actually feel drained. and then reinvesting yourself, reinvesting that authenticity into the people that actually fill your cup. Shall we check the bottom of the deck? The Elder of Wands, the King of Wands. So this is that energy of like, after having rested with the King of Swords idea in reverse, after having Four of Swords, King of Swords, taken a step back, rested, connected with your mind, connected with your ideas, being able to put yourself out there, being able to fully take the lead, take ownership of your life, your work, create community that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Reciprocal? That's not quite it. Restorative isn't quite it. Regenerative. Being able to listen just as much as you talk, just as much as you put out, you are able to take in. Just as much as you have fun, you are able to be serious. And you are able to act in service of what fully aligns with you and what you want to create. And you know you don't have to do it alone. You know you can't do it alone. None of us can. Again, individualism isn't real. We are social beings. We need each other. That's not to say that like you have to always be around people. I am the biggest introvert ever. I prefer to be alone. And I have close personal friendships that honor that and have sustained for years through phone calls, texts, meme sharing, FaceTiming. It's like, find the people that can support you at your fullest, at your happiest, no matter what that looks like, even if it is different than what they would want for themselves. Cool. That's the reading. That's the week. Feels good. Feels right. And this deck, y'all. I mean, you saw it. Look at that star card. Sorry if you're listening and you cannot see the star card. Anyway, shall we close things out? If you're watching, you can just see Kirby's little back right there. If you're not watching, what are you doing? Get over to YouTube. That's where you can see all the goods. All right, y'all, let's close this space. If you'd like, you can join me again in closing your eyes or just let your gaze soften down at your cheeks or somewhere out in space. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let yourself settle in with this message. Reimagine any elemental forces that you put up around yourself. And as I name them once more, imagine those visual representations of the elements sinking back into the earth, fizzling out, or simply dissipating away from you to open this space and release the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west of water, the south of fire, of the east of air, of the north of earth, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. And I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Cool. All right, friends. I'll see you next week, same time. Well, hopefully a day earlier, same place. If you have questions about Tarotcraft, if you're interested but like nervous or whatever, please don't hesitate to reach out. My hair's being crazy. If you have questions about anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to book a reading before September 1st when my prices go up, or after September 1st. If you love and appreciate my work and just want to pay those higher prices, hey, I'll take it. Wait until September 1st. All right, friends, I will see you when I see you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.